The hidden power of thoughts and vibrations. I want to share with you a story, one that changed the way I think about health, healing, and the quiet intelligence of the human body. It's about a woman I know named Maya. She's not a doctor, not a healer in the traditional sense, just a regular person like you and me. A kind soul, always smiling, always giving. But a few years ago, Maya went through something that would test everything she thought she knew about herself. She started feeling unwell. At first it was just fatigue, then pain. Her energy dropped. Her mind became foggy. Eventually she was diagnosed with a chronic condition. I won't go into the medical terms here because what matters isn't the name of the illness, but what she discovered through it. Maya tried all the conventional routes, medication, supplements, diets. Some helped, some didn't, but none of it really felt like healing. She told me once, it was like I was patching a leak, but the whole pipe was cracked underneath. One day, after months of frustration, she came across a line in a book that struck her. Your body is made of intelligent cells that are always seeking to bring themselves back into balance, if you let them. That line changed something in her. Not instantly, but gradually, like a seed being planted. She began to observe her thoughts. Not just the loud, obvious ones, but the quieter ones too, the ones running in the background. And she realized almost all of her inner dialogue was about fear, lack, and what might go wrong next. Even though she was doing all the right things on the outside, on the inside, her body was being flooded with thoughts of resistance, worry, frustration, hopelessness. And these thoughts were interfering with what her body was naturally trying to do. Heal. Think about that. The body is designed to heal, but it can't do so freely when we're constantly sending it conflicting signals, energetically, emotionally, vibrationally. Maya told me, I realized I had to stop fighting the illness and start letting my body remember how to be well. So she made a decision, a radical one. She stopped focusing on the problem and started focusing on peace, not blindly or out of denial, but because she began to understand that wellness is a state of alignment, not just the absence of symptoms. Each day she committed to finding even a few moments of joy, gratitude, ease. Whether it was watching the sunrise, listening to music that moved her, sitting quietly in nature, or remembering a moment when she felt truly safe, she filled her mind with whatever brought her a sense of relief. Little by little, something began to shift. It wasn't dramatic at first, just a lightness, a bit more energy, clearer thinking. But that momentum grew. Her body responded to the new frequency she was offering, one of hope, not fear. Eventually, the symptoms began to fade, not all at once, but steadily. Her doctors were surprised. Her tests improved. And most importantly, she felt whole again. Not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. She didn't attribute her healing to a pill or a protocol. She said it like this. My recovery began the moment I stopped interfering with my body's intelligence. When I got my thoughts out of the way, my body remembered how to find balance. Now I know this might sound almost too simple, even a bit idealistic, but there's a deeper truth here, one that science is slowly catching up with. Our thoughts are not passive. They're energy. They influence our nervous system, our hormones, our immune response. Every thought sends a message to the body, and when that message is repeated enough times, the body listens. Every illness, or disease as Maya put it, is preceded by some form of internal resistance. We may not notice it. Most of us are so used to stress, anxiety, and negative thinking that we think it's normal. But the body knows. The body remembers, and if we don't pause to listen, it eventually speaks louder, sometimes through symptoms. Of course, at this point, someone always asks, but what about children? What about a newborn who gets sick? And it's a valid question. Just because a child can't speak doesn't mean they're not thinking or feeling. From the moment life begins, even in the womb, there are vibrations, influences, energies being absorbed. The emotional environment of the mother, the people around her, even the collective energy in the space, all of it plays a role. We are energetic beings before we are verbal ones. That's not to blame anyone. It's simply to understand that healing, and even illness, often starts on levels we don't immediately see. And once we do see, we gain power, not to control everything, but to influence our own energy in a way that supports wellness. Maya's story isn't about denying the reality of illness. It's about reclaiming the forgotten truth that our thoughts are part of our biology. And when we change those thoughts, gently, Gradually, with love, we create the environment for healing to begin. So the real question becomes, can you direct your thoughts toward ease, even in the middle of discomfort? Can you feel hope, even when the evidence around you is saying otherwise? Can you trust that your body knows the way, if only you stop blocking the path? That's what Maya did. And in doing so, she didn't just recover, she transformed. And maybe so can you.